All right, this is Chapter 3, Lesson 2, Add Integers. So, when we're adding integers like 2 and -2 are called blank because they are the same distance from 0 but on opposite sides. In that blank, you're going to write opposites. So integers like 2 and -2 are called opposites because they are the same distance from 0 but on opposite sides. Two integers that are opposites are also called blank blank. In those blanks, you're going to write additive inverse. They're additive inverses. So basically, they're opposite signs, but they're the same numbers. So that when they do that, they'll add up to be 0. The additive inverse property states that the sum of any number and its additive inverse is 0. So 2 plus -2, these are additive inverses, 2 and -2, so they'll add to be 0. Okay? So you can think about it this way too. If you gave me $2, right, and then I gave it back to you, I don't owe you any money, okay? If I borrowed $2 and then I paid it back, I don't owe any money, okay? So it's 0. Okay, add integers with the same sign. So this is something that we've been doing most of our lives. We've been adding numbers that are positive, okay? So, to add integers with the same sign, I just add their absolute values, and then the sum. If they're both positive, then my answer is positive. If they're both negative, I just get a bigger negative. Okay? So if they're the same sign, you add them. Just add the numbers together. Okay? And whatever you get, you add that sign in front. So if it's positive, it'll just be the same. If it's negative, you just put a negative sign out front. If you're adding with different signs, to add integers with different signs, subtract their absolute values. The sum, if positive, if the positive integer's absolute value is greater, and negative if the negative integer's absolute value is greater. Okay? So one way to think about this is if they're different signs, they're enemies, and you want to subtract them. Whichever number is bigger wins, and you take that side. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of examples. So the first example I have is -3 plus -2. Notice that they have the same sign. Because they have the same sign, I add them together. 3 plus 2 is 5. They're both negative, so my sign is negative. -26 plus -17. Again, both negative, so I add them together. 26 plus 17 is 43. They're both negative, so I have a negative sign out front. 3 plus 2 is 5. 26 plus 17 is 43. With these over here, I have 5 plus -3. So they're different signs. They're enemies, so I'm going to subtract them. 5 minus 3 is 2. Out of these two numbers, 5 is bigger. So 5 is positive, so my answer will be positive. -3 plus 2, they're different signs, so I subtract them. 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 is bigger, so my answer will be negative. Then I have 7 plus -7. Well, they're additive inverses of each other, so they're going to be 0. Then I have 2 plus -15 plus -2. 2 and -2 are additive inverses of each other, so they're 0. And I'm left with a -15, so my answer is -15. All right, there are a couple of try problems out below. I want you to go ahead, pause the video, and when you're done, we'll go over the answers together. All right, now that you've had a chance to try out the try problems, let's go over the answers together. So I have My first one is negative 14 plus negative 16. So, negative 14 plus negative 16. They're the same sign, so I add them together. 14 plus 16 is 30, and they're both negative, so my answer is negative. Negative 30. The next one I have is negative 10 plus negative 4. Again, they're the same sign, so they're friends, so I add them together. 10 plus 4 is 14. They're both negative, so my answer is going to be negative. Then I have 6 plus a negative 7. Different signs, 6 is positive, 7 is negative. So they're frenemies. They don't like each other, so subtract them. 7 minus 6 is 1. 7's bigger, 7's negative. 7 wins. So negative 1. Negative 15 plus 19. Different signs. They're enemies. I subtract. 19 minus 15 is 4. 19's bigger, 19 wins. Positive 4. Negative 14 plus negative 6 plus 6. Same signs, different signs. Negative 6 and 6 are additive inverses of each other. They cancel each other out. So I'm left with negative 14. And that is the end of lesson 2.